Namaste and good morning. Welcome to the Sola Aane Daily Brief, your daily dose of business news that matters. I'm your host, and today is Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. Big day in the markets, the kind of day that changes business plans overnight. Let's dive in. First up, today's top headlines. 1. A US-Iran 2-week ceasefire sent Indian markets soaring. Sensex jumped nearly 4%, its best single day in 5 years, as crude oil crashed 14% to under $94 a barrel. 2. The RBI held its repo rate steady at 5.25% today, but warned that inflation is building. Your EMIs are safe for now, but household and business costs are heading up. 3. Air India CEO Campbell resigned yesterday, and effective today, the airline's new fuel surcharges kick in, making air travel significantly more expensive across domestic and international routes. 4. Quick commerce giant Zepto received SEBI's in-principle approval for a Rs 11,000 crore IPO. That changes the competitive landscape for every Kirana store in India. 5. India's TReDS Invoice financing platform crossed the Rs 2 Lakh crore milestone, a major win for MSME working capital access. Deep Dive 1. The ceasefire and what it means for business. Let's take a deeper look at today's top story, the US-Iran ceasefire. After more than 5 weeks of conflict that battered Indian supply chains, oil prices, and market sentiment, Washington and Tehran announced a 2-week truce late Tuesday. The response was immediate. Brent crude crashed 13.89% to $94.09 per barrel, down from $109 just last week. Indian markets had their strongest day in years. The Sensex gained 2,946 points to close at 77,562, and the Nifty crossed the psychologically important 24,000 mark. Total market wealth creation in one session, Rs 16 lakh crore. The rupee also strengthened, gaining 47 paise against the dollar to close at 92.59. Now here is what matters for your business. First, raw material costs should ease. Plastics, packaging, chemicals, and logistics that spiked over the last 5 weeks will start to come down if the ceasefire holds. Second, the stronger rupee means import costs just got a bit cheaper, especially for machinery, electronics, and components. Third, and this is important, this is a 2-week ceasefire, not a peace deal. Prices could spike again. Actionable advice: if you are in manufacturing, logistics, or any import-heavy business, use the next 2 weeks to renegotiate supplier contracts and lock in better rates before the situation evolves. Don't wait. Deep Dive 2. RBI holds rate, signals caution for FY27. Moving on to the RBI's first monetary policy decision of FY 2026-27. The Monetary Policy Committee, meeting under Governor Sanjay Malhotra, unanimously held the repo rate at 5.25% with a neutral stance. No surprise there. But the projections told a more cautious story. The RBI is now projecting GDP growth at 6.9% for this fiscal year, down from 7.6% last year. That's the West Asia conflict taking a bite. Inflation is projected to rise to 4.6%, driven primarily by energy prices. The RBI's message is clear. Stability is the priority. They will not cut rates aggressively until global uncertainty clears. For small and medium businesses, here is the read. Your loan EMIs are not going up. That's good. But if you were hoping for rate cuts to reduce your borrowing cost, don't hold your breath in the near term. The positive news is that MSME and retail lending remain the fastest growing segments for banks. If your business financials are solid, credit is accessible. One more thing. The RBI separately mandated that all digital payment transactions now require two-factor authentication as of April 1st. Make sure your payment systems, UPI, net banking, card terminals, are updated. Customers are going to expect smoother authentication now. Deep Dive 3. Air India, CEO out, fares up. A turbulent 24 hours for India's aviation flagship. Air India CEO Campbell stepped down yesterday after nearly 4 years at the helm. Wilson had been steering the Tata Group's ambitious Vihan.ai transformation plan, but mounting losses, surging fuel costs, and operational pressures finally led to his exit. The airline says he will stay on until a successor is found. Tata Sons is expected to finalize a new CEO by May. On the same day, effective this morning, Air India has rolled out new distance-based fuel surcharges. On domestic routes, the surcharge runs from Rs 299 on short hops to Rs 899 on flights over 2,000 kilometers. International routes see even steeper hikes, up to $280 extra for North America and Australia. The root cause? Jet fuel prices have nearly doubled since February, from 99 to $195 per barrel globally. For MSMEs, particularly in sectors that require frequent travel, field sales teams, supply chain teams, client-facing services, this is the moment to audit your travel budget for the rest of the year. Factor in 15 to 25% higher airfare costs when planning. And honestly, this might be the year your team finally gets comfortable with video calls instead. So what does all of this add up to if you are running a business in India today? First, the ceasefire is temporary relief, not a structural fix. Commodity prices will ease short-term, but plan for ongoing volatility. Lock in supplier contracts now, not later. Second, with the RBI holding rates steady and projecting slower growth at 6.9%, don't count on a big demand surge this fiscal. Focus on margin discipline, not just growing the top line. Third, Zepto's IPO is a signal. Quick commerce is becoming institutionally mainstream. If you run a retail or consumer-facing business, your digital delivery strategy can no longer be an afterthought. Zepto, Blinkit, and Swiggy Instamart are building enduring consumer habits. Fourth, India's export engine is strong. Total exports crossed $790 billion this year, with services nearly matching goods at $388 billion. If your business has any global dimension, software, pharmaceuticals, engineering goods, or professional services, FY27 is a genuine export opportunity year. That's your 69 Daily Brief for Wednesday, April 8, 2026. A day shaped by ceasefire relief, a steady central bank, and a quick commerce unicorn heading to the stock exchange. If you're thinking about buying or selling a business, head over to solahane.com, that's 16ane.com, where we make business deals Solah Ane Paka. See you tomorrow.